I'm the CTO of an agency, Nantes, in France, and I'm also CTO Group of Zenika.
Our guest is Group CTO of Zenika, Julien.
Hi.
Thank you for coming.
Nice to meet you. I have also non-profit involvement. I'm a GDG organizer in Nantes, organizing one of the biggest DevFest in the world. And I'm also a GDE Google Developer Expert in the cloud part of GCP.
So what does your day-to-day look like?
My day-to-day looks like different every day because as a CTO I have different functions. For the group I can help other CTO in other agencies. I help also marketing to find what conference to sponsor. And in my agency I help people to grow and become more visible for the community. And there is also some sales part or marketing part.
But how do you distribute your time? Let's say manage your time for
that's a very good question. I try to keep tracking my time on my computer, on my laptop, with an app to check where I spend my time. The last month I spent 1 hour per day on my mail. I spend 1 hour per day to discuss with people at the coffee or in one-to-one meeting, and I spend less than half an hour coding. My role as a CTO group is less and less developing application, but more to empower the other developer to upgrade their soft skills and discuss with the customer.
Is that right to say that your most of the tasks involve communication, right?
Yeah, I think 30% of my time is about communication. Communication about what we do at Zenika, what we do in my city, and what the consultants are doing. They are doing a lot of stuff in open source projects, on blog posts, on video like Twitch, and they didn't do the communication by themselves. Sometimes they need a little push from me to gain visibility.
So you want one of the triggers for communicate outside the world, right?
Yeah, inside Zenika too. Communication at Zenika is two parts, the internal part and the external part. The internal part is very, very important to make able the people to create together, to build something together. So they have to notice, to know which people do what. At Zenika we have some ritual meeting like the Technosaur, where everyone have to submit a subject, and I try to get everybody, also the junior, to submit a good subject, something that seems interesting for everyone. And I enjoy to brainstorm with these people, because often they say I have nothing to share. Everybody knows that I'm doing or my stuff, and no, a little presentation, a getting start on a new technology is very, very interesting for everyone. The IT is so big, so large in terms of technology. No one can be update about all the technology here. So someone in the web part can talk to someone in the data part and take about a tutorial or something very beginner, but could interest the data guy. So I think it's very cool, and I like to see also the people on the board staff, marketing, recruitment, to do some meeting, some conference to show what they're doing, what's their day-by-day job.
How is that important to, let's say, for a developer to market yourself?
Okay, it's I think for Zenika and its culture, it's very important to have people who have strong skills in technology, but also have the soft skills to be able to train people, to do some talks, to be able to help a customer to understand what the future is in terms of technology. Yeah, I think it's very important to have soft skills today as a developer. I think at Zenika we prefer someone who's able to talk, to show what he's doing, and be more productive than a developer in a cavern, like a beer. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mean like hiding, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't show anything.
We need people who love to share. The share thing is very important in the culture of Zenika.
Actually, I can see, right, even from internal stuff, right, the workplace.
Okay.
There's many people from Nantes. There's trying to push some like open source.
There is also a value at Zenika is transparency, and it's very cool to see that the communication is very transparent. Everybody can access the information, and showing that we can communicate on everything can motivate young people, junior people to communicate also on their project and on their doing.
Where you were before joining Zenika?
Oh, I was in another consulting company called Everywhere. It was a French firm from Areva, a nuclear company. It was cool, but when I see in 2011 Zenika create What's Next, a big conference in France before DevOps, and I heard so many good things about the organization, the schedule at this time, and after that I met a Zenika who found Zenika Nantes, and it was in the organizer of the Nantes Java user group, and I was creating the Google developer group of Nantes. So we share a lot about the community-driven aspect, and it was very interesting. And at the end, he said, "Oh, so cool! You're doing so many stuff. Do you want to join Zenika?" And I say yes.
I just quickly go through your LinkedIn profile, right?
Yeah.
And I saw that you study some computer science, right?
Yeah.
Mathematician, I guess, or mathematics. And then I found like you start. The first job was like sales and something.
Yeah, it was during my academic period. So I was searching for a student job, and I found a company who was selling computers stuff, and I began like a sales over there, and it was very cool to see what was to be a sales.
Tell us about your involvement with this GDG Nantes and Google and.
Yeah. So in 2011, we decided to, with two friends, we decided to create the GDG Google Developer Group, because we were quite a fan of Google technologies. I was already in the cloud part. Another friend was in the Android part, and the third one was on the web part. And we said, okay, all the stuff from Google is here, Chrome and the web, Android and the mobile, and the cloud stuff. And we say, can we just create some meetups to explore and share technologies about Google, but not only about Google. And we decided in 2011 to go to the Google I/O, the biggest conference from Google, to see what's a big conference. So we went to San Francisco by our own way, and it was very cool and very wow. And we decided to, after that, to create a conference in Nantes called DevFest, to create a mini Google I/O, to bring what we saw over there and be able to bring that in Nantes, in our city.
Oh, that's impressive, right? Is that only 3 friends, right?
At the beginning, yeah, but since then, for the organization of the DevFest, we make +1 organizer per year. So now we are 9 in the organization team.
Okay, cool. Could you share a bit more experience? How do you organize this ones? Is that a meetup or the conference? Or both, right?
Yeah, both. The GDG try to make something like 12 events per year.
Is that every month?
Every month. And we have the biggest one, the DevFest, and we were 2,000 attendees per day this year. So quite a big event. And yeah, it's very cool to have this big adventure to create this event. I like to say that the DevFest and the GDG is like a mini company we create, and we can play with this and have fun and enjoy to be a non-profit organization, but inviting many students to our conference. The main goal for me as a non-profit organizer is to create a conference where I want to be there as a student. So when I was a student, I didn't have access to such a information and such a big conference, and I'm very excited and proud to bring that to my city and to the students of Nantes.
Is it only within in Nantes, right?
DevFest is a global organization by Google. There is many DevFest, and there was one in Singapore last week, I think, or something like that.
DevFest.
Yeah, DevFest Singapore. The guideline from Google is very free.
So anyone can create
Yeah,
organize this one.
Any GDG can create a DevFest and have a little support from Google, and it's a way to create a conference because you have your first sponsor. You know that Google will help a little, but will help to organize the event. So it's cool to have his first sponsor and go to search other sponsor saying, hey, I have Google in sponsor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But does it require anything special, like to have like super guests, or?
Yeah, to make a big event like the DevFest Nantes, we have to try to bring, we call it a top speaker, or a speaker that's internationally recognized. We try to go each year to the Google I/O, for example, to reach some speakers and try to bring them to our DevFest. There is no magic, and you have to send email to try to convince, show the photo of the location, the venue, explain that all will be recorded in HD and available on YouTube. So they can also convince their boss that the conference is very interesting for him, for the company. It's interesting as a speaker to be at the DevFest Nantes. The particularity also about the DevFest Nantes is we try to keep a good percentage of local people presenting what they are doing, and also bring top speaker to show what they are making in open source or stuff like that.
Is it only open sources or Google proprietary technologies, or?
There is no guideline from Google to this. So, for example, this year there was more Microsoft speakers than Google speakers. Yeah.
So anyone is welcome, right?
Yeah, anyone is welcome, and we are a call for paper open to everyone. So we like to have many proposals. This year we reach 500 proposals for I think 80 slots. So we have many subjects and many talks, very interesting, but we cannot take it all.
Cool. A little bit hot topic here. What about diversity in such events?
The
diversity.
Yeah, the diversity. That's a good question. In France, in IT, in the tech, majority is men. There is not a good proportion of women. But to try to enable the diversity, we try to follow women speaker, and finally we have more female top speakers than male top speaker. So that's very cool to see that we can promote the diversity just by bringing women and 400 people for the talk, and yeah, showing that everyone can access, and women are welcome in this kind of event. The percentage is quite low in terms of female attendee and female speaker.
All right, what do you enjoy about Zenika company culture?
The identity of Zenika is based on the sharing part, because everyone are welcome to share about his knowledge. I think we can understand and improve ourselves by discussing with many people at Zenika. There is many experts on very different subjects: DevOps, data, web, I don't know, blockchain, AI. There is plenty of different subjects, and every time I like to see passionate people sharing what they're thinking, what they're seeing in the future of the tech, and I enjoy a lot about that.
What would you tell someone considering a career in Zenika?
At the beginning, I think the best way is to try to be an expert in a subject, to be able to have a vertical focus in technology, to be able to explain something in the web like React, and be able to deep dive in React. But after that, it also bring new soft skills to be able to communicate about what you learn about React, what you've done with React, what could be done with React, and to be able to share many things with people, with the community, like a conference, a talk, a meetup, a brown bag lunch, a video with Andrey.
Is that only one, let's say, specific field you need to be expert?
I think at the beginning, as a junior, you have to focus on only one technology, because you cannot try to do many focuses. When we are older, we have done a technology, another one, another one, plus one, plus one, plus one. So we have a wide range of skills. Yeah, I think it's better to be able to help customer to understand what they really need. But to begin, I think the main purpose is to concentrate on only one technology. Right. Perhaps two, like the web part with React and Vue.js, but not to be focused on data, DevOps, AI, web, and
yeah, because there's so
begin lost.
Yeah, there's so many technology, right, nowadays.
Yeah, and to be able to focus, you have to learn what you love. The love of in technology part, it can be data at one time, and will be DevOps and web the other time. So it involves with life.
How is that important, let's say, to be a fast learner in this industry? Or it's not important at all?
I think the most important part is to be able to learn. But the timing, the path to learn, it's not very something important. You can't learn AI in 1 week or 2 days. Or you have to love AI and follow different years of learning, to be able to focus and to be comfortable with the technology. When you do a training on Vue.js on 2 days, you can do some Vue.js, but you cannot explain all the history of Vue.js and what the future is, and you know how to do it at this time, but you have to be open to other technology, and you have to learn. The time is not important in this case, I think.
Okay, so it's like probably last question here. So how do you manage to get your time between the CTO, right, and group CTO? Is that easy or?
It's quite easy. I try to spend, I don't know, 1 or 2 days, I think, per week to the CTO group job. And the rest of the time, I try to be a CTO for Nantes, for the city, for the agency. It's very seasonal. Sometimes we need, as a CTO, to be able to focus on one subject. Try to define for France, for Paris, for example, R&D project. So what's the main subject in security? Perhaps I could help to just review the proposals, but not very clear. More like to animate and to share the culture of the different CTO. It takes time to communicate. We already said that, but yeah, I try to communicate what is going on in each city and what's the initiative in each agency. I have a lot of job for 2020 next year.
Cool. All right, so this one is a inspiring conversation with Julien. Thank you.
Thank you.